Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Just got off the phone with one of the people that I work with, and as we were having the conversation, they asked, why are you staying so late? Why are you staying so late? And the truth be told, I'm going to tell you this. I was in a comfort zone why I stayed so late, but it's not the one you're thinking of. I've got stuff to do. I have a life outside of work. I love what I do. It's a little challenging. I'm trying to win, and there's some other guys that I find out are trying to win also, and they really want to take it to the next level. It's funny. Three of the guys that I know of, and there might be, four of them, one of them's a gal, are all doing what they do because they have something to prove. Can you dig it? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So the conversation I had with one of my people that I work with was this. For the first time in a very long time, the vibe, the energy, what's happening is starting to, you could feel it. You could feel the electricity. All of the training, the developing, here we go again with the speech, all of the theory and all of the developing of people and the constant awareness of where we're at, where we want to go, and our commitment to the end result, it's very intense. And what I want to do with this podcast is I want to tell you something right now. If you're in a sales organization, if you are a salesperson, if you are some sort of that environment where you're measured at the end of the month by the results that you've generated, realize that you can't do it alone. You're in this race for a very long time. You need the support of the people around you. And I want you to understand something, and I want you to understand the concept no matter what you do. I got a sales background. I have a management background. I've been trained in leadership. I have a leadership background. I have a speaking background. I've screwed everything up in my life background, but I'm using that as wisdom to help you get to where you want to go in your life. And I want to share this with you because I mean it from the bottom of my heart. You cannot do, I was going to swear, but I'm not going to. I'm trying to keep it clean. I don't want to get banned by iTunes. What I want you to do is I want you to realize that this is so important. Start doing this with your family. Start doing it with where you work. If you're a leader, you have to 100% start applying this immediately, this concept, this idea, this theory, because it works. And the reason it's working is because the people around me are starting to get it. And what I want you to do is this. I want you to start saying these three things. One team, one voice, one purpose. One team, one voice, one purpose. What are you about? Taking care of business. One team, one voice, one purpose. What's your purpose? It's part of the blueprint that I talk about. What is your purpose for, get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose? What is your purpose? What is the purpose for doing what you do? What are your intentions? Why do you do what you do? The big why, right? Why do you do what you do? It's the purpose. Fulfillment. What fulfills you? My fulfillment is helping people reach their goals. My fulfillment, the reward is Facebook post. Dan, you helped me achieve my dreams. Thank you. Man, that makes me, I feel like I'm contributing to human society, and it's so fulfilling. And that's what I do it for. That's my purpose. My purpose is to drive the organization I'm at to create the best environment I possibly can for everyone involved. And I'm going to rely heavily on my managers to drive the results by supplying them genuine leadership, by providing them transparency, by really creating the best kick-ass place to work. And if you can do that, if you can create a really cool environment where people are engaged and want to go to work, man, what does that do to the people around you? It's all great stuff. It's the purpose. One team, one voice, one purpose. How do you do that? How do you start creating that team environment? How do you create that winning mentality? Super simple, man. from the blueprint, apply the 4 E's. Every time I see the 4 E's applied, it's a game changer. Energy, excitement, enthusiasm, engagement. There's a guy that I work with right now. He's not the most energetic, although he has energy. He's not the most enthusiastic, although he's got enthusiasm. He's even not the most excitable person, but boy, is this guy engaged. Super approachable. Those are the things that you need if you want to be successful. Recently, I'm listening to a book on my way to and from one. I'm not bothering you with this intense podcast coming your way from Rockford, Illinois. How awesome is that? Listen to this. That's so funny. And the people that I work with will get a kick out of that because I get teased all the time for living in Rockford, which is like Rockganistan. They say so many terrible things about how bad it is. I don't live in a bad part of Rockford. And again, shout out to Rockford. There's good people out here. But so funny that an ambulance went by. Hope to God everyone's okay. I'm not laughing at the ambulance. I'm just saying it's something that's pretty common. Police cars, ambulance, and fire cars, fire engines, whatever the sound, you hear it all the time. And seriously, I hope that there's nothing wrong with that person in there that was in the ambulance. Hope everything's okay. I don't want to be shallow, and I'm not making fun of a situation, although it sounded like it was. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of bad stuff that happens in Rockford, and thank God I don't see it and I'm not around it. And it's just what Rockford is. But people criticize Rockford for that all the time. I guess that was not funny. It was more ironic than anything else. So let me get back on track. Totally forgot where I was. Let me get a grip and find out. I was talking about one team, one voice, one purpose, level of engagement. And I'm currently listening to a book about Og Mandino, the greatest salesman. And what that book discusses blew me away because I read the book 30 years ago when I was a new salesperson in 1992. And my goal was to work my tail off so that I could generate enough commissions to support my lifestyle, which I wanted really nice things. And I think I had 4 cars. 3 cars for sure. One of them was my wife's, but I had 3 cars at one time. I had a beautiful house. I had a house that I had 50 rose bushes around. And guess what? Yeah, I'm bragging right now. One of those was an award-winning black rose bush. What's interesting is the rose was about the size of 2 of my fists when it bloomed. And I didn't realize why they call it a black rose. It's because it's so dark red, it looks black. And when I saw the rose bloom for the first time, because it's something I negotiated for the guy to leave with the house, and they did, the rose was absolutely amazing. I have normal size hands, but a rose the size of 2 of my fists was absolutely amazing. Lived on a golf course. We had horse stables. I had a lot of stuff from selling and earning commissions. And that was my goal, is I wanted to make money. So I listened to books. I listened to the Tony Robbins. I read books back then. And I did a lot of reading. And I don't remember this book, The Greatest Salesman, ever talking about reaching out to God and asking for help in difficult times with difficult, challenging situations in sales. I don't remember that, and that's in the book. I don't remember it talking about getting up early and getting your head right. I don't remember any of that stuff. But if you've been listening long enough, doesn't that sound like the No Comfort Zone model? Holy cow. I'm totally plagiarizing the book, The Greatest Salesman, but I don't remember doing it. But it's funny, 30 years later, after I finally woke up, I'm applying these virtues of life, these biblical lessons on how to live your life right, and I put it into a blueprint, and I made it cool. It's a method on how to get out of your comfort zone and start achieving the things you want in life. Yeah, the things. If you want nice things, you can go after it. But really what it does, it fixes you on the inside, teaches you work ethic, teaches you self-discipline. It teaches you how to master your own life based on your own screw-ups and your own shortcomings. How cool would that be? Dan, I screwed up really bad in the situation. Well, guess what you're going to do? You're going to learn from it. You're going to learn today, as Kevin Hart would say. That's what I want to do, is teach you from your mistakes. And that's all I do. I put your mistakes and I put you in front of the mirror. We take a look at it, and then we deal with it from an outside point of view. Now, how great is that there's literature out there? And I can't tell you how many books I've read, because I've read tons of books, but never really started applying it until I realized my life was in jeopardy again. Till I put my life in jeopardy again. Till I didn't want to live my life anymore. Then I realized The time is now for me to start changing things. But how do you change? It takes a minute. It takes a moment to realize that you don't want to live this way anymore, that you're better than what you're doing. And you know what? You can be a hero version of yourself. You can be that person that your wife wants you to be, that your kids want you to be, that your employer wants to be, that your employees want to be. And somebody asked me this too, and maybe I've said it 100 times in this podcast. And by the way, thank you very much for listening to my podcast while I rant, while I drive, because my whole goal is this. My whole goal is to help you. That is it, my friends. That is it. I just want to help you. I'm so glad that this thing is growing. It's even growing more so now. So I feel like I need to keep catching up and supplying you more content, which I would love to know what kind of content you want. Please hit me up, Dan at thenocomfortzone.com. Let me know what you want to hit me an email. Say hi. That would be pretty cool. Dan, I'm in such and such country. Just saying hi. Because it's pretty cool. There's a lot of people starting to listen from all over the world now, more so and more so every single day. So what I want to do is get back on track to tell you that I truly do want to help you in every way, shape, or form I possibly can. And I do know that by reading these books and applying this information has helped me. But really, truly, when I started applying this information recently for my adversity, I started to get massive results. And the cool part is, and you don't know this, as the listener, you are not aware of what I'm going to tell you next. When you go through a situation like this, and it gets hard, and you put yourself through these challenges, that light at the end of the tunnel that I forced you to go through, life becomes magical. It becomes super fun. Opportunities show up. The person that you're, what I was saying before, the person that your wife wants you to be, or the person that your husband wants you to be, your kids want you to be, your employer and all that stuff, you could really be that person. But the best part is you're not doing it because you're trying to mold to what they want. You're molding into the person that you should be. And to have that confidence and that conviction of who you are all the time is absolutely phenomenal. And that feeling where you don't have to worry about who you are anymore. You can actually be totally exposed. You can be real, relevant, and raw. And people are going to love you for it. And that's what everyone's missing. You're trying to fit into this mold of what you want what society wants you to be, or what your spouse wants you to be. It's not about caving into them and being so bendable that you don't know who you are anymore. This is about being the man or woman you want to be, and everybody accepting you because they believe who you are. Because for the first time in your life, you believe in who you are because you've paid the price. Through adversity, you learn from your mistakes, you apply those principles, and now you're a wise old person. All of about anywhere from 25 to about, 65, I guess is who I'm marketing this to. Hell, you could be an 18-year-old and hit me up. It's fine. Because you could have adversity at 18 years old and need some help. And by the time you're in your 20s, you could be, I got a lot of life figured out. I'm going to take another minute here, talk about one more thing. I interviewed a guy today for a position. At the end of the interview, I said, listen, we're interviewing you just as much as you're interviewing us. There's 3 guys in the room. And I asked the question, I go, so I want to ask you a question. How do you think we did in the interview today? He's like, excuse me? Well, you're interviewing us. We're interviewing you. How do we do? And he goes, really? I would give each and every one of you the job. I was like, man, you are so hired. He nailed it. 18 years old. Maybe you're that person. And maybe, like I say, you're either going into adversity, you're in adversity, or you're coming out of adversity, but maybe you're a person that I can help in one of those situations, because that's where it's at. And this guy might have listened to me just a little bit enough while we work together to realize that when adversity comes his way, he might have learned something that'll help him keep his marriage, keep his job, avoid him from making a stupid decision, just enough. And that's all it takes. Do me a favor, like, share, rate, review, do all that other stuff. But more importantly, get out of your comfort zone. Live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.